Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Jeremy Thornton. Just a little bit about me. I am a chiropractic physician, board certified internist, board certified clinical nutritionist, practicing in Southwest Missouri. I've been in practice now for 28 years in the realm of functional medicine and natural medicine. And I've seen a lot of products over those years, right? I've seen a lot of technologies that have come and gone. And I'm not easily impressed in this realm, right? It's so many things that are out there that are just all about hype, right? And of course, when I have a Zoom, now my phone wants to ring off the hook there. So and or they find whatever the most popular ingredient is this month, or herb or vitamin, right? And so a company will like fairy dust their product with this buzzword of a supplement or an herb, and just because of the trend. And we just see so much of that going on. And so when this crossed my path, I heard about a GLP, a natural GLP product. First of all, those words don't usually go together, right? It's natural and GLP. When we think GLP, we think of injections, right? And that's sad because GLP is a natural hormone in our body, but very effective marketing. Anyway, when I heard about the product, I wasn't super excited about it, right? I'm just very skeptical. I should have had a more open mind when it first crossed my path. Finally, I said, okay, I'm going to try these drops. My friend Tanya introduced me to them back in December. And so I ended up trying the drops over the holidays with how everything fell. Probably not a great time to try a product in the metabolism space over the holidays, but I did. And I actually lost weight over the holidays. And I think, wait a second, that never happens, first of all. How did I lose weight? What is in these drops, and why did that happen? So that got my attention enough to jump into looking at the science and looking at the research, looking at the ingredients, looking at the company, trying to figure out what all this was because it was an unexpected result. And the more I dug in, the more excited I got about this product, about this technology, the research, the company. It just really, um, it just really got me excited as I started using it myself with my family, with first a handful of family and friends and patients. And the testimonials just kept rolling in. A lot of different areas of health and wellness. We might have come into this conversation thinking about fat loss, which everybody likes that part. But what I was noticing was way beyond fat loss. And so I continued to go back to the research. I'm like, why are these people experiencing all of these health benefits from a fat loss supplement, right? And as you look and we dig into the research, you're going to see exactly why so many people are experiencing benefits far beyond fat loss. And these little bitty drops are causing quite a stir, especially in the GLP space, the peptide space, because they've done things that we've just never seen before. So, again, when we hear about GLP-1, we almost always think about a shot, right? We think that GLP-1s equal injections or equal medication or a prescription. That's not true. A GLP-1 is a natural peptide, a natural hormone in our body that has very specific benefits. The synthetic injections, what they do is they mimic the GLP-1, right? They mimic the GLP-1 and basically force that system to work way more aggressively than it was naturally working anyway. So the GLP-1 naturally, they call it the appetite whisperer, regulates hunger. Let me move my screen around just a little bit so I can see better. Um, in the brain, right? Regulates hunger in the brain, that food noise, that wanting to snack when we're not really hungry. It reduces food cravings, portion sizes, promotes sustainable weight loss without effort, makes you fuller faster. It dampens the digestive rate of which things move through you. So if things aren't moving through you super quick, of course, you're not going to be hungry as fast. It also impacts insulin resistance, insulin secretion, blood sugar balance, so many different things, inflammation in the body impacted by GLP-1. And that's just one pathway we're going to talk about. So the most popular drug on the market is a GLP-1 agonist, and that's all it does is it triggers, it mimics this one peptide, right? The GLP-1 peptide. The GLP-2, we call it the core shield. I call it the gut repair crew, because that's really what it does, is it repairs and strengthens the gut lining. They've shown that it helps reduce a condition they call leaky gut. So with leaky gut, what happens is the cells that line the intestine, uh, they have what they call tight junctions between each cell. Let's say the cells, my fists are cells right here, and these are tight junctions. And when we have stress and toxins and inflammation and medications and chemicals and all the things, infections, all the things that our poor gut has to deal with, this irritation will cause the release of a protein called zonulin. And zonulin tells these cells it's okay to separate. And this is where we get the term leaky, because now these tight junctions aren't so tight anymore, right? Now things that are coming through the gut are going through these tight junctions where they shouldn't be and getting into the body and into the bloodstream. And that triggers a whole host of potential problems. The inflammation or the immune system gets involved. It creates inflammation, creates more leaky gut. It creates food sensitivities. Um, Not to mention these toxins are now having a direct avenue right into the bloodstream. And this is all around leaky gut. And the exciting thing about this product is it addresses that. It reduces inflammation in the gut lining. It lowers that hormone called zonulin. It improves nutrient absorption. There's a credible amount of research, especially in the area of iron and this product. This product has no iron, but it dramatically increases iron in the research studies. And why is that? Well, it's because it's enhancing nutrient absorption. As more studies come out, we're going to see that it also enhances other things in the body, uptake of other nutrients, important nutrients in the body. Again, mostly because of this GLP-2 pathway. Again, GLP-2 is not a drug, it's not a supplement, it's a natural system, a natural pathway, a natural peptide or a hormone, however you want to look at it in the body, right? And our drops are not forcing it, they're not mimicking the GLP-2 in a synthetic way, they're supporting these naturally occurring things to happen in our body. The GIP, so we're not just one pathway, we're supporting three pathways. That's where the tri comes from, three. And the third one is the GIP, the metabolic optimizer. It optimizes insulin sensitivity, glucose regulation. It smooths out the blood sugar, less spikes, highs and lows. It enhances fat burning, metabolic efficiency, supports sustained energy and mental clarity. It also reduces inflammation. Again, another one that improves insulin sensitivity in the body. And also, our body sometimes gets stuck with incoming food. It thinks it just needs to store everything. So the GIP kind of acts like the traffic cop, telling the food where it can go, right? Instead of sending everything into storage, it could say, hey, let's start to use some of this incoming nutrition for fuel instead, and which is a huge benefit to the metabolism. And so the GIP pathway is super important. And to have three GLP pathway support in one product is incredible. Not only that, but we're seeing all of these things play out. And the benefit that I have as a physician is I get to see it in real time with patients, with diagnostic workups, with lab work, for example, and seeing blood work improve in areas like A1C, like blood glucose, like fasting insulin is super exciting because blood sugar problems are a huge issue. You're right. Here in the US, it's alarming the amount of pre-diabetes and diabetes that is here. 1 in 3 are pre-diabetic, 1 in 8 are diabetic here in the US. Estimated 70% are insulin resistant. And this drives almost all of our other major killers, right? It drives heart disease, which is our number one killer, is driven hard by blood sugar problems, right? And high insulin and high blood sugar. Everybody you know that's diabetic likely has some other kind of vascular problem, right? Huge increased risk for heart disease with for arterial problems, high blood pressure, vascular inflammation, circulation issues, right? They tend to have trouble with their kidneys and their eyes and their extremities. This is all because of its impact on the vascular system. And to have a tool that is impacting that in a major way is, to me, is super exciting because we're shifting one of the major struggles that people have with their health is blood sugar, and it's also inflammation. And we're also targeting inflammation in ways that I was not expecting with this simple, I shouldn't call it simple because it's really a pretty remarkable product, but we're talking about simple ingredients. With this product, we're seeing such dramatic improvements in these areas. And again, it's been a shock to me as I've gone along to see it benefit this many different areas of health. Um, so we have the GIP or the GLP-1, the GLP-2, and the GIP pathway in just one simple drop underneath your tongue. So benefits, there are many, but research shows up to 7% BMI reduction in just 6 weeks. That's fast. 10% body fat decrease with zero muscle loss. That's huge. We should highlight the zero muscle loss, right? Because the most popular, most prescribed GLP-1 on the market has up to 39% of the weight lost is muscle loss. And that's scary. So somebody loses 50 pounds, 20 pounds of that in muscle. Are they metabolically better off than when they started? Right? They're not. They're actually worse off than they started. Um, and what I've seen, sadly, is people that try to come off of the shots um, gain that weight back quickly. But do they gain that 20 pounds of muscle back? Right? They do not. Right? And so now they've got the weight back on and think that the only answer is the shots again, because they probably lost weight more easily and had some success in losing that weight. So they want to go back on the shots. Well, let's say they lose that 50 pounds again. Guess what happened to that muscle? They lost it again. And now we're in real trouble, right? Health wise, because not only we think skeletal muscle, but what is our heart? It's muscle. And so this is one of the areas of side effects people are starting to see. And again, I'm not against the shots. You know, they were made for GLP-1s were designed for diabetics and they have a purpose. But the widespread use, 10% of the population using them, I think that that's an issue, especially now when we have a better option. And this is our better option. So we talked about blood sugar, sustained energy, inflammation, just overall systemic inflammation reduction, improved digestion, and nutrient absorption. 3 years of research and development. We don't have to use the injections. We have patented bioavailable technology, pharmaceutical grade manufacturing standards, direct to consumer accessibility, right? We don't have medical gatekeepers. Um, and you know, one of the exciting things about that we talk about pharmaceutical grade manufacturing standards is we've recently come out that the FDA has now allowed 7 health claims on this technology. First of all, that just never happens on a natural supplement to the FDA to allow medical claims. In fact, that's where everybody usually gets in trouble is they make medical claims, even if they're well substantiated with research. The FDA does not like natural supplements to make health claims, and they go to great lengths to prevent that from happening. Um, this has so well documented research that the FDA has allowed 7 uh, specific medical claims for this technology, and that's huge. I've never heard of another natural product receiving that much leniency from the FDA. And all of those claims are around, which we haven't even talked about yet, skin health, wrinkles, anti-aging, skin hydration. And probably part of that is due to one of the anti-inflammatory nature of this, but also there is collagen in those salmon peptides, uh, specifically collagen 1 and 3. And so that is tremendous for the skin, for the nails, for the hair, right? For the soft tissue. And that's one of the areas of medical claims allowed by the FDA. The other area centers around energy and vitality and um, improved less fatigue, things like that. And the third area within those seven medical claims is in the area of inflammation and oxidative stress and antioxidant benefits, which there are many with this product. And so that's super exciting. One, that this product can make medical claims in these areas because, again, that's just rarely seen from a natural supplement. We've talked about this triple action synergy, the appetite control, the gut healing, metabolic balance. All of that's exciting. So this is for you if you want to lose weight naturally, you want to avoid synthetic injections and side effects, you want an affordable GLP support, a quarter of the price, or even less depending on if you have insurance or not. If you suffer from food noise, appetite, cravings, things like this, you want to switch from shots. 10% are already on some type of GLP medication. And so some of them are looking for an off-ramp, right? Either due to side effects or they don't want to be on the shots forever. And this is a great option for these folks. They want to keep their muscle and they want to lose fat and I like to keep my muscle. That'd be my preference. Uh, or they want to help launch a viral product. And that's exactly what these drops are currently is a viral product. Around the world, people are talking about a natural GLP. They're talking about these drops. And it's disrupting the GLP peptide space because nobody's seen anything like this from a natural product before. And and I get excited to be able to share this information with you and just to get this into people's hands around the world. So four simple, very clean ingredients. Another thing I get really excited about is just how clean our drops are. With just four ingredients, we have the Norwegian salmon, bioactive peptides from the salmon, right? They also have added organic lemon peel, organic ginger root, and water. That's all that's in here, guys. Nothing, no questionable ingredients, no questionable chemicals or binders or carrier oils or alcohol or anything that's often put in liquid products. It's just these ingredients. And we talk about origin pure. We talk about that we're beyond organic. We hear organic used nowadays. Doesn't mean as much as it used to, right? People claim organic and they're truly not. But triGLP and Origin have gone above and beyond in their certifications and their standards for this product. You can feel certain that if you're taking this or you're recommending this to your friends or your family, that it's safe. It's free from chemicals. It's free from pesticides. It's free from heavy metals. It's free from contaminants. It's halal certified, HACCP certified, kosher certified, non-GMO certified, GMP certified. Probably one of the cleanest natural products that I've seen. Perfect time for a natural breakthrough. And there's many reasons that I say that. One is because of our health crisis. This is a perfect time for this breakthrough. And another perfect time is if you have an entrepreneurial mindset and you want to help share a viral product that's desperately needed in the world today. This is a great time for this natural breakthrough. So as I mentioned, 10% are taking a GLP support. 35% currently are looking. They're seeking out options in this department. The demand for prescriptions has been so high that sometimes they can't meet the demand. The pharmacies can't meet the demand for the GLP medications. We're entering a U.S. market of more than 100 million consumers that are seeking GLP advantages, but hesitant to pursue the injectable options. 5 million internet searches per month in the U.S. alone on GLPs. That's how much people are seeking out help in this area. Global drug market for GLPs began at 48 billion in 2024, 66 billion just last year, and projected over 800 billion in just the next few years. We've talked about ours versus theirs. With the obesity epidemic, which is in a large part driven by the blood sugar epidemic, this is a time that people desperately need this product from a metabolism standpoint, from a blood sugar standpoint, from a weight standpoint. But This goes beyond that, and we're seeing people receive benefits in um, their inflammation levels and inflammatory type situations. Like we talked about, their blood sugar, insulin, A1C. We're seeing benefits in gut health, um, and a wide variety of what gut can impact in our health, which is virtually everything. Um, and Yeah, and so that's why we hear a lot of things. If you're not in our testimonial group, make sure you ask for an invite to the testimonial group. You'll see testimonies, and some of them talk about fat loss, and some of them talk about all the other benefits they're seeing in their health because we're supporting these three pathways, which have major health implications on the body. We're not forcing these uh, these mimicking synthetic peptides, right? We're supporting the systems that are already there. The problem with mimicking something, if the body senses it doesn't need that substance anymore, what's it do? It stops making it, right? It stops producing it. And that can happen. And one of the reasons, oftentimes, that injections tend to be a lifelong sentence. So anyway, I think that's all I wanted to cover. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for now and see if there's any questions in the comment section, in the chat.